If you've ever launched a book, you probably know what it feels like to sit there, constantly refreshing the page day after day, hoping that you'll see another sale or a new positive review. This is a bad habit, and it's something that a lot of authors do on autopilot, myself included. It's something that's really hard to avoid doing. You want to know how your book is selling and what people think of it. Waiting for your book to get those first helpful reviews can be an agonizingly slow process. And the hard truth of the matter is, the vast majority of people who buy a book or a product will not bother to actually leave a review, whether they love it or not. And this is a challenge that anybody, whether you're an author or creative, a developer, anybody who puts out some kind of product is going to have to deal with this. So specifically to Kindle books, in reality, only about 1 to 2% of people who buy your book, on average, will actually take the time to leave you a review on Amazon, if they're left to their own devices, though. It's not that they don't enjoy your book or that they don't want to help you out, but it takes a little bit of effort to leave a review, and once someone's purchased and read your book, they've already got the goods, so to speak. So there's no added benefit, really, of leaving a review, and so they don't. It's nothing personal. People are just busy. They're distracted, or, it's not a high priority. I can totally understand that. And I think you all can too. But I also think that we can all agree that a 1 to 2% customer review frequency is pretty abysmal sounding. But you can boost that significantly by taking a more proactive approach to getting reviews. That's why this course and the step-by-step approach that I'm going to lay down shortly is just so critical for authors. A few simple changes to your approach and a little extra hustle can have a big impact in both the quality of reviews you get and the volume you get. Before we start digging more into that, here are a few things to keep in mind throughout the process. Number 1, emotion drives a response. The number one thing that spurs someone to leave a review for your book is emotion. Your book really has to move a reader to the point of action, for better or worse, if you expect them to take the time to rate and review it. So what does this mean for different types of books and authors? For nonfiction authors, if someone finds value in your book, if it helps them overcome a major obstacle in their life, or if it's packed with great information that engages readers and leaves them feeling inspired and brimming with aha moments, that's good. That's the sweet spot. That's the stuff that's actually going to move your readers to the point where they bother to leave a review. And if you left them with a good feeling, there's a really good chance you're going to get a positive review from that in the process. But on the other hand, if your book is badly organized, if it has typos or grammar issues, if it doesn't have any new information that sets it apart from other books in the topic niche, or if it suggests things that anger your readers, you can sure bet that they're going to let you know about that, and it's not going to be pretty. All this applies to fiction too, although it's on a slightly different level. If you've got a great story, compelling characters, a unique angle, and a gripping tale that leaves your readers feeling happy, leaves them feeling scared, sad, aroused, or anxious for what comes next, you're going to increase your chances of getting a favorable review. Make them feel something they want to feel, which can vary widely depending on the genre or why they specifically sought out your book. But again, if your plot is a mess, if the characters are one-dimensional, the dialogue's awful, or if the flow is off or things are uninteresting, that's going to motivate them to weigh in on the other side of the spectrum. And that's not what you want. And the same goes for typos, poor formatting, and grammar issues. So what's the big takeaway from all this? If your book doesn't push someone's emotional needle to one side of the scale or another, it makes them far less likely to leave a review. Knowing this can help you fine-tune your content to maximize its impact and prime your readers for taking a hopefully positive action. On to the next key point now. Number 2, more sales and downloads pretty much always equals more reviews. Getting reviews is partially a numbers game. If you're getting a lot of downloads, whether that's from a free promotion or a paid sale, and your book is ranking in the bestseller charts for your category, then you're naturally going to wind up with more reviews. I know it seems obvious, sure, but more readers will usually translate into a larger number of reviews for your book, just through the sheer law of averages. If your book isn't selling very well, if it's not very visible on the Kindle storefront, and it isn't getting a lot of traction to begin with, then you're going to have a hard time getting the volume of reviews that you want. That's where getting reviews during your launch is super key, as it can help drive your sales and create momentum that will help sustain your book for a while in the charts. Free promotions, a special sale, and other ongoing marketing efforts that lead to downloads always have a chance to get you more reviews. So it's important to promote your book during its launch and on an ongoing basis beyond your initial launch. Just keep in mind too though, that people who pay for your book are far more likely to actually take the time to read it over the folks who just grabbed it because it was there and it was free. A lot of people will get a free book because it's free, but then they don't actually follow through and even bother to open it up on your Kindle. That said, however, carefully targeted promos can be really useful if you can get your books in front of people who are actually in your target audience. Then if they grab them for free, they're more likely to read them and then actually leave a review if they enjoyed it. Okay, so on to my final point here for this lesson. Number 3, most authors, they give up too soon. Getting people to review your book isn't an instantaneous process. You have to put your book in the hands of the right people. They need time to read it and formulate their opinions, and they also have to find the motivation to sit down and actually leave a review and a rating. By getting this process rolling before your book is launched, you can increase your launch reviews and speed the process up in a big way, which can lead to more reviews early on in your book's life cycle. But it's also worth remembering that the process of getting a large number of reviews does require a touch of time and patience. If you let yourself get flustered and give up too soon, you're leaving a lot of potential reviews on the table. And the same goes if you stop trying to get new readers and sales once your book's launch momentum starts to kind of slow down. I've seen this happen to a lot of authors, and it's happened to me too. So you can't give up too soon. Give yourself a little bit of time to let these things kick in, and then just keep working on it over the long term.